Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking, and today we will be tackling project setup. As you can see, I've created a brand new project called Astro, and we will be doing the setup, and then we are ready to finally start actually coding. So, first things first, let's create a new scene called the world scene, in which we have a node 2D, exactly what we need. Second of all, let's go to our project settings and let's turn on our advanced settings. Scroll down until you find no, I cannot find the window. There it was, the window stuff. The window under display setting. And we will be changing our width and height of our viewport. So for this project, I want a viewport width of 160 with a height of 240. Then in our overrides, we will be putting for our override width 640 and for our height 960. Why is this? Why are we overriding our width and height? Well, this will stretch our smaller windows or our smaller viewport into the correct size that we actually want. But before this can work, we also need to say that our stretch mode is set to canvas items. And so now everything will scale up nicely into our bigger screen. Then we also need to scroll down under rendering and go to textures and set our default texture filter to nearest. If we were to keep this on linear, since we're working with pixel art, this would add a slight blur to our pixel art, which we don't want, whereas nearest would keep it crystal clear and sharp. Okay, now that these settings are applied, as you can see now we have our long rectangular in which we can build our stuff. Now, for the second part, we will create our project structure. Everyone's project structure is unique and has to fit their own style, but these are the folders which I like to create. As the first one, I want to create assets, if I can spell. And under the assets folder, I usually create a few more folders, such as our sprites, our fonts, our SFX, our music as well, and then also our UI elements. There we go. Okay, a second folder I like to create is components. The third one is the entities. Then we've also got our scenes. And I might as well already create it, but I also create a folder for our exports. Something I do recommend doing, however, is creating a folder. I'm not going to do it now because it's a solo project, but if you're working with multiple people on a project, or you know you'll be taking a long break during the development of a project, I would also create a documentation folder in which you can document certain decisions made during the project, such as sprite sizes, code conventions, etc. Right. Then in our scenes, we can also create a folder for the world, and in the world, we will put our world scene, but not before setting it as a main scene. Meaning this is now the scene when we press the play button. This is the scene that we will see being booted up. There we go. This is the project structure I am using at the moment. And then a second thing I also need to add is the fact that there is a GitHub repo. As you can see, only 2 commits. It's the initial project and the creation of a README. So it's a blank GitHub repository as well. So this covers everything I need to say about the project setup. Thank you for flying with Orbital Inc. And until next time, your captain out.